Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, we're going to be talking about smut. So, it's come to my attention on Twitter that as much as I read smut, I don't really talk about it. I was looking at my Goodreads challenge the other day and was realizing that almost 50% of the books that I read in any given year are romance or romance adjacent. So I figured it would be fun to give you guys my favorite, sexy books of 2018 so far. I'm hoping to read a lot more smut in this coming year and near the end of the year. I'm actually planning to do a readathon in December with Mayana. It's hasn't been completely worked out yet, but it's gonna be called Ho Ho Ho-a-thon. And it's just gonna be a month long of reading smut. If you want to join us, there'll be more details on Twitter, so follow me there. But anyway, today we're gonna be talking about the books that I find hot. They're gonna be varying in level of intensity, so if you don't like hardcore pounding, that's fine. I've got something for you too. So we're gonna kind of start out with most tame, getting to most fucked. So the first book that I'm recommending to you guys is From Lukov with Love by Mariana Zapata. I've read almost all of Mariana Zapata's books. I think there's only one that I have not read, and this is my second favorite. I absolutely love it. To be honest, I like all of her books. She writes an excellent slow burn romance. This one in particular is about a professional figure skater named Jasmine, and she sucks. Just terrible at ice skating, and I found that really refreshing. I feel like anytime we have any sort of sports romance in literature, the person's always fucking amazing at whatever they do, and that's fun, but I feel like it gets tedious, and I feel like it's kind of hard to relate when you're a clumsy piece of shit and you're reading about someone who's super talented. So she's not very good, and she's been doing this for years and years, and she still hasn't won anything. It kind of has put a strain on her relationship with her family. Her dad's you should just quit and get a regular job like everybody else, and then her mom and her siblings are encouraging her, but she still has this guilt. So the actual storyline itself is really intriguing, and it gets even more interesting when Ivan comes into the picture, and Ivan is the son of the owners of the ice skating rink that Jasmine practices at. Jasmine is a solo, single, what do they call him? I don't fucking know, but she skates alone, and Ivan needs a new partner. He is a pairs figure skater. His partner has gone away. He asks Jasmine to join him, even though Jasmine sucks. As you probably have guessed, things progress from there. Jasmine and Ivan kind of have a hate to love relationship, which is kind of fun, and in general, just the slow burn was so fucking slow, but so rewarding. Like I said, the story itself really made it for me, and the way that Ivan talks about Jasmine and appreciates her as a skater, as a woman, etc. It's just so nice, and I would highly recommend this, especially if you were new to romances or you were kind of unsure about banging in books, because this is pretty tame compared to the other choices we're going to be talking about, but I really fucking love this book, and I think you will too. This next book, technically, you could consider it the most tame. I find it sexier. I guess this is a sexy scale, if you will. It's a YA book, and I'm pretty sure you didn't expect to see YA on this list, but hear me out, this book's fucking hot, and we're just gonna ignore the fact that Cardon has a tail, because I'm talking about The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I fucking love this book. I know a lot of people have issue with it because of the bullying. I think I liked this so much because I've read some of her other books and I understand the way that she writes her fake characters. They're not nice. They don't have a whole lot of human characteristics. I kind of knew going into this that Cardon wasn't going to be nice. I just love a good enemies to lovers situation. It's steamy. Nothing is consummated. There's a nice makeout scene, I guess, kind of. Sexy doesn't always mean full out banging. Sometimes it can just mean two characters who fucking hate each other but secretly love each other getting together, and that's kind of what happens in The Cruel Prince. I've also read the sequel, and it gets even sexier and steamier in that book, and if you're looking for YA that has a more mature feel, I just think you should read this. Okay, so getting into more romance smutty territory, because these next books are kind of smutty. So the first one is Fake Out by Eden Finley. This is a book about a guy named Maddox. I'll preface this by saying this is a male-male romance. It's about a guy named Maddox who lies to his high school sweetheart to get out of their relationship by saying that he's gay. And not only does this affect his relationship with his former girlfriend, but everybody in his life now thinks that he's gay. He has no problem with this, he's not homophobic, but it's making things interesting when he has to go to his sister's wedding and bring a date. So he has to find a gay guy to go to the wedding with him. This probably sounds a little bit fetishizing. I totally get that. That was kind of my concern going into this book. I was like, ugh, he's lying about being gay, and is this going to be a gay for you type romance? It's actually not. I was surprised to find out that everything that I was concerned with was actually handled really nicely and wrapped up really nicely. Maddox is given a lot of shit by Damon, who is the fake boyfriend that he gets for this wedding. He's given a lot of shit for the fact that he is using a marginalized identity to get out of a relationship, and Maddox actually does have to grapple with his sexuality and what that means for him. It's not glossed over I feel like it can be in a lot of male-male romances written by straight white females. I personally really enjoyed this. I liked that it was slow burn, as Maddox is kind of figuring out his sexuality and figuring out that he actually does have feelings for his fake boyfriend Damon. I just thought it was nice. I thought it was sexy. I liked the way that it progressed, and I think this really is a fun book if you're into sports romances or if you haven't given male-male romances a try. It's hot. The next two books I'm recommending are kind of interchangeable in a way because this is for my bitches who love One Tree Hill. If you love drama, you're gonna like these books because there's a whole lot of angst and a whole lot of drama in both of them, and I think they're both equally sexy. I think I 5-starred both of these because I live for the fucking drama, and those books would be Finley by Ella Frank and A Little Bit Like Love by Brooke Blaine. The first one, Finley, is about a guy named Daniel Finley, surprise, surprise, who comes back to his college town after he is called back by his college professor. Him and his college professor had a relationship back in the day, but the professor was like, you need to go away for law school. Finley gets a random note out of the blue saying, come back to me, and so he has to grapple with his feelings for his professor, who's named Brantley, and kind of what that means for his life. Are they gonna get back together? He's still kind of ragey because he was sent away so long ago. I really liked this. It was obviously a lot of push and pull. I really like books that have a past built in to where I don't have to sit and read their past history. There's not a whole lot of flashbacks that are boring to me. I don't know. I feel like a lot of flashbacks in like new adult and shit just kind of make me want to gag, so that's not really the case here. It's just sexy and it's hot, and I like the way that they fix their relationship, deal with their age gap issues, and eventually just consummate their love. So I loved this. I thought it was great. Another book that's kind of similar because it's got the going back to a small town vibe and got the whole we have a history vibe is A Little Bit Like Love by Brooke Blaine. This book is about a guy named Jackson and a guy named Lucas. They meet at boarding school and kind of fall in love, but Jackson's dad figures this out and calls him home, and he has to leave Lucas kind of without a word. Lucas is not happy with this, and he holds this anger and resentment towards Jackson for years until Jackson shows back up in their small town that they went to boarding school in, and they kind of have to deal with these issues over one stormy weekend. If it sounds like the Nicholas Sparks book, movie situation, it kind of is, but without all the death and with more banging. I think you'll really enjoy this if you like needless drama, slow burn kind of, and really nice sex. This one I think is heavier on the sex than Finley, and there's no age gap element because Jackson and Lucas are the same age, but it's got, again, that small town vibe, that we've got history vibe. It's a good time, and I would highly recommend this. Okay, and the last book on my list is the most problematic. I'm kind of hesitant to recommend this because I know that it's not gonna be everybody's cup of tea, but you know what? I'm the queen of smut, and I'm gonna recommend you guys shit that is not always PG. So the book that I'm talking about is Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I voted this best romance of 2018, so clearly I enjoyed it. I'm not saying that you will, but I did. The story is Jordan is in college, Jordan's a female, and she's dating this pretty douchey guy. And he treats her like shit, essentially, and he hangs out with her former abuser. She had a shitty boyfriend in the past who kind of did some shitty things to her, and her current boyfriend hangs out with that guy, and he's never around, and she thinks he might be cheating on her, but she kind of has nowhere to go, and he gets kicked out of his mother's house, and so they decide that they are going to live with her current boyfriend's father named Pike. I literally don't even remember what the boyfriend's name is. I just remember that the dad's name is Pike, and I think you know why I only know the dad's name, and that's right, because she dates her boyfriend's father. It sounds a lot worse than it is, and I was actually looking at reviews before I filmed this to see what other people's opinion were, and almost all of my friends said, I'm kind of disappointed because I thought this was gonna be more taboo than it actually is. And that's totally true. You get the taboo element, but it's like taboo light. If this is kind of like intriguing to you, but you're kind of worried about problematic shit, you can rest assured that there's not a whole lot of that. Yeah, there's like an age gap element, but there's no real power dynamic struggle, if that makes sense. Jordan and Pike get together, obviously, but Jordan is very mature for her age. She's had to fend for herself for a really long time, and all she really wants is stability and a family and someone to take care of her, not like in a sugar daddy sort of sense, but just in a like, let's be mature adults sort of way. And her current boyfriend is just typical like 19-year-old douchebag. So when she goes and lives with her boyfriend's father and her boyfriend, she develops feelings for her boyfriend's father because he is settled and mature and responsible, just like she is. I really rooted for their relationship from like day one because the boyfriend was shitty as fuck. I didn't have an issue with this. Like I said, I would fucking recommend this. The relationship was beautiful, and to be honest, it's not the taboo element that I thought was hot about this. What I thought was hot was the build-up, the slow burn, the getting to know each other and kind of dancing around the feelings that they had for each other. So once all of that happened, I was happy and it was hot. So I don't want to give anything away really, but it's a romance and they end up, yeah, that's it. Those are all of the books that I found sexiest in 2018. I've read, like I said, pretty fair amount of smut this year, but these are my absolute favorites. If you guys want more smutty recommendations, leave comments down below. Also let me know if you want more of these types of videos, because I feel like there aren't that many people talking about smut on YouTube and talking about romance, and I don't know. Hope you enjoyed this. Love you guys, and until next time.